Welcome to The Fence with your hosts, Mitch
and Gar.
We'll be diving into all kinds of topics to help give a leg up to both first-time exercisers or those of you interested in beginning strength training. The topics we cover could help you with fat loss, could help you with muscle gain, or just reinforce your current routine in the gym. Let us help you get off the fence and into the body you deserve. And with us today, our guest, Bill Castor. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you.
Happy to have you on, man. So, introduce yourself. Give us a little background. What are you doing right now? Current job title? All that jazz.
So, Bill Castor, currently performance director over at the Newtown Performance of the Newtown Athletic Club. Local Bucks County kid. Just moved back here about 2 years ago after a stint in Nashville for about 4 years. Did performance training down there as well. Wanted to get back home to friends and family with my wife. Just had a kid about 5 months ago. Started growing a family here.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah. Big changes.
Coming back to our roots and growing our own as well here.
All right, man. Well spoken. So I know you guys, you mentioned the NAC, and I have a little history with the NAC. Gar is a current member.
Yeah, I see Gar all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Can't really miss him.
Almost got kicked out once already.
Oh no, I gotta hear about this.
For helping out with a family friend, and there was like a 4 or 5 of your trainers. Like I felt ice. Like I was like, man, why my skin is burning?
Oh man.
Yeah. They thought he was trying to poach on there. They're pretty on top of that, I think, over there.
Yeah, they are.
Right, and as you should be. I would be too if I owned a gym. So I know the NAC's undergoing some renovations right now. Tell us, and some other changes as well. So what are those projects you guys are working on?
Lots of projects. The one that I'm most involved with right now is there's a new facility on the campus of the Newtown Athletic Club that we just acquired. It was right next to our grounds. There's currently a sports training center that's right on the corner of where we're at now. Adjacent to that was a one-story warehouse that was pretty vacant, just filled with another company stuff for a while. Acquired that from them, and we're going to open up a facility called the Newtown Performance Institute. So we currently rebranded to that now. Prior to that, I was help directing a Parisi Speed School, which is a franchise. There's over 100 of those Parisi Speed Schools across the country. Great company. We had a nice long stint with them at the NAC. With the new facility and the new vision that we have right now, we're kind of just paving our own way with the Newtown Performance Institute. Once that building is open, though, we're going to be offering much more services than we were before with just the speed school. So we had sports performance training, which encapsulated anything that involved strength and conditioning for athletes. Whether you're 7 or 70, you can be considered an athlete at any time. But we do mainly deal with middle school, high school, and college kids.
Okay.
But also within that new facility, there's another facility in Langhorne called NPR. They do MMA, boxing, jiu-jitsu, and striking. They will be leaving their Langhorne location and moving in-house with us to the new facility, which will be called the MPI, Performance Institute.
That's what I've been told, actually. When I found out you guys bought that area, that building, that's what I've been told. Like, NAC is planning to make a MMA gym out of it, but now you gave more details.
Yeah, so they're currently, the facility over in Langhorne is called NPR. That's who they are. They're going to be just bringing all their members, their services, their coaches, their whole community over with us. So on one half of the building, they're going to be having their octagon, their boxing ring, all their tumbling mats. On the other half is where we're going to put the performance training. So we'll have all of our weights, we'll have our turf area, and in between the two of them, we're going to be putting in a recovery lounge, access to saunas, cold plunges, compression therapy, as well as putting a pro shop in the front. So a lot of good things coming over there.
Awesome.
Will that be available for a regular member, or they have to purchase extra membership?
If you're currently a member of the NAC, you can get discounted stuff. So if you're currently a member of the NAC, you'll get discounts over to the services at MPI. But you don't have to be a member. Just like the Parisi Speed School was, you didn't have to be a member to train there.
Right.
So this could.
So
this
I
is-
just can go and do whatever I want without coach if I want.
If you had there's not going to be a general membership.
Okay.
If you got like a monthly membership to the MMA classes and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you could go to those classes at any time with that
Mhm.
membership. On the performance side of things, it's more or less going to run appointment based, almost like a physical therapy office.
Okay, so like a general member pretty much can I just go and enter? Like if I want a cold plunge, I can just bounce from a neck and go to this building where you guys will be
No.
operating, and I
it's a
understand.
separate membership, but you could be discounted if you're a NAC member.
All right, sounds like a plan. Sounds good.
I heard they were trying to get some kind of jiu-jitsu or kickboxing there for a while, and I think there was a couple different people entertaining the idea that you guys might have been talking with. I don't know if you have any backstory on any of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, the only services that in the NAC that are now, one of the trainers, his name's Jack, a.k.a. Maui.
Maui. Oh, yeah, I know Maui.
Everyone knows Maui.
He's awesome.
Also does karaoke over at the Parrot.
Oh, no way. What?
Yeah.
I got to see that.
No, yeah.
He's just this big. Have you met him?
I'm sure you've seen it. He looks
Big
like
hulking man. He's got the ponytail, big tattoo, giant arms.
Man, I
He does
think
kickboxing
he
at the
was,
NAC, right?
Yeah, here you
And
go.
other stuff?
Yeah,
I've seen
little
him.
boxing, little sparring. So
Yeah.
he'll run some sessions in some small groups inside the
Next
NAC.
to the punching bags.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
always
that's
hangs
him.
out in that area.
So nothing fully sanctioned right now, but with the with NPR moving in with us, we're definitely going to have full service MMA stuff. Along with that, we're also working with Eddie Alvarez, and he's going to be forming a fight team within the MMA place too.
I did read something about that. Very
Yep.
cool. Very
That's
cool.
solid.
Great publicity all around. I met him once at the
Impressive.
NAC. Real humble guy, real nice.
Yeah, he'll
Just
talk
kind of
to you.
bumped into him. Yeah, we were just
Yeah.
like chatting. Just,
Mhm.
I didn't even like say I knew who he was because he was just so normal, and like I was just like, yeah, cool, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool updates at the NAC. What's your personal? You said you did a stint in Nashville. So what's your passion? Your maybe your most utilized certification?
I would say my most utilized certification would probably be my Exos Performance Specialist certification. So I first got into the sports performance world, just falling in love with sports as a young kid at high school and college and stuff like that. So first passion would probably be performance training. As I'm getting older, is just overall health and performance, if you want to combine the two together.
Right.
The place I was at in Nashville, we operated under the training philosophy of the Exos methodology. So during my time there, I did go out to Phoenix, which is the headquarters of Exos, did their mentorship and certification there. And I probably carried those philosophies out to everything from general pop to athletes. So that would probably be the number one.
Okay. Anything you want to add on to that, Gar, before we move along a little bit?
Not really. Not really.
All
Just a
right.
detailed answer.
Cool. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Let's see. Before we get into more of the professional stuff, what do you like to do for fun?
Fun, really spend most of my time
you
with
have any
friends and
free time.
family.
Yeah, right.
If I have any free time. If I do have some free time lately, I'll probably just try to get on the golf course with some buddies.
Nice.
Maybe hop down to a Phillies game. Really nothing special. Most of it's just friends and family, a little bit of golf.
And you're
Do
in a
you
very transition. Go ahead, sir.
Do you train at the back gym?
Yeah.
There's a golf spot. Do you train there?
Once in a while, I know the guy who runs the golf spot there.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, he'll be able to get me in. He's gave me like a little one free lesson one time. I always tell him, let me know when he wants to start training and getting stronger.
Right.
So,
Little bartering system.
yeah,
That might.
I'll train you. You train me.
Right.
Yeah, I see a lot of people going there.
Is his
Yeah.
name Frank? Is he still in there?
Yeah, Frank's awesome. Yeah, Frank Giovanzo or
Giovanza? Okay.
yeah, Frank's a great guy. But that's also a separate membership. So all the people that are going in there, they don't have to be members of the NAC either. They just get
Yeah, I
to go.
figured it was like on the door. There was a sticker on the door.
Yeah, totally
This is
separate
it, yeah.
membership, but it seems to be pretty busy all day long. In my stint at the NAC so far, only been maybe almost 3 years now. But I've definitely seen Frank turn that studio around for sure.
Okay. Excellent. Good for him. Yeah. So, what's your So the podcast is a podcast by personal trainers for new and aspiring exercisers. So if you had to kind of put a philosophy out there as far as how someone can develop consistency or break into the gym, because there's kind of a high level barrier of to entry, you know. Any words of wisdom, any systems maybe as far as programming that you would want to throw out there?
Absolutely. For anyone who's just getting started, whether it's been a long time since you've been in there or you're totally brand new to it, try your best to keep an open mind and just kind of remember that slow and steady wins the race. Consistency is going to be the number one thing no matter what you're doing. From there, you're just going to want to master the basics, because as long as you can master movements and either have someone help you, like a trainer, or do your research on how to do things right, it's going to keep you injury-free, which is going to help you keep that consistency going.
Yeah, and longevity.
Yeah.
True.
I'm even guilty of it. You know, if I have a slow month or something, or, you know, I'm not as consistent, and then, you know, I want to go back to those exact same numbers I was lifting before, and I always got to just check myself and my ego, because we're human. It's the path of least resistance is always how we're going to want to at first do things, and so I always have to just kind of slow myself down, and yeah, so that was well said.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Right now, I'm recovering from my tore bicep and labrum, and sometimes I'm like, I want to grab something bigger than I should.
Then it's ready for you.
But yeah, I'm trying to hold
I'm sure
myself.
we have our own things. Yep, I'm the same thing with my back. Every once in a while, I'll push it too much, and no, I just remember the back's not ready for that.
Did you ever have like a hard back injury, or is it just kind of like a weak spot, or a spot that keeps getting retweaked, or? Yeah,
I mean, it's a long story with it. I think it's due to starting a job at a very young age, a manual labor intensive job in like 7th, 8th grade. So I started doing that at a young age, and I think that's may have what developed a little bit of scoliosis in my back.
Oh, wow.
And then from there, icing on the cake, first real injury was working a snowstorm overnight for a landscaping company. Came home and I was in total lateral shift and totally shift. I had no idea.
Oh, my God.
So my parents told me when I go home, Bill, why are you cooking? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know I am. And then it was like almost on a yearly basis. 1 year later, back falls out again. 1 year later, back falls out again.
Huh.
So I just had to stop lifting heavy, leave my ego at the door, and do the basics. Getting on all fours, core work, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I will actually, if just a recommendation for a feature, Stuart McGill. You know Stuart McGill?
Yeah.
Yeah. So his book's done magic for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like I used his technique to fix my back. I could not deadlift more than 135 pounds for over a year.
Yeah.
Because every time a little bit more, needle in my back. This is what it was.
Really? Okay.
So definitely go through his books.
Yeah. Do you remember which one specifically?
I used Gift of Injury.
Okay.
And it's most simple, actually.
Yeah. Got it. Cool.
I'm glad you asked, because I was going to ask what the name of the book was for our viewers or listeners, and for myself, actually.
Yeah.
And I actually used it on a few of my clients too, because most of my clients are knee injuries, back injuries, shoulders, this, that.
Yeah, it's really kind of been like a blessing in disguise, because back injuries are so common. No matter who you work with, someone's going to complain about their back. But
Exactly.
I've had a lot of experience rehabbing it, so here we go.
Yeah, 100%. That's kind of how I try to look at anytime I've never been seriously injured, knock on wood, but anytime that I have my own issues. Mine are, hip mobility. My hips are tight, and that transfers into lumbar instability, things like that. And so that's been kind of like one of my few journeys that I've had to deep dive into to self-diagnose first off, and then be able to prehab it and work on it and try to unlock it. And so I feel knowledgeable on those, and it's a blessing in disguise, because it comes in handy all the time, because that's also an extremely common thing you'll see.
Yep, absolutely.
You played sports, you said, in college, high school. Tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, younger grade school days, it was soccer, basketball, baseball, track and field. Kind of did a little bit of everything when I was younger. Played year-round travel soccer. That kind of groomed into my main sport through high school. So high school was soccer, which led me to kicking for the football team as well. Played basketball.
That's like a Happy Madison story right there.
Yeah, so I get to play soccer all week and then show up on Friday nights and kick a football.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Which is kind of cool, though, because it actually led me into my collegiate career of being a kicker. Had no plans on it. And it was freshman year of high school. One of my best friends like, yo, can you come kick for us? We don't have a kicker. I'm like, I guess. I almost said no just because I wanted to go hang out on Friday nights and watch the team.
Yeah, right.
But I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then I ended up playing college sport out of it.
That's wild.
Nice.
That's awesome. Really cool story. Yeah. And then, so then when did you, I guess in college, would you say, did you start strength training in college or before that in high school?
I probably started working out in 8th grade in my parents' basement. My dad had one of those, if you can imagine, it was like an all-in-one thing. You can, You're laying down your bench press, and next thing you sit up, you're doing a leg extension and a leg pull down simultaneously. It's just like
universal gym.
Universal gym. So
one of my clients just have that. I was laughing when I saw that thing.
It's just like the 1-inch metal bar, the old school plates, taking the little weights off of the dumbbells, adjustable dumbbells before adjustable dumbbells.
Right.
But yeah, all that old school stuff. And then I got my first lick of sports performance training about sophomore or junior year of high school. We went to a place, I want to say Feasterville maybe. It was called MVP Sports Training.
That sounds extremely familiar.
They had a very small stint, if I remember correctly. They weren't around too long, but it was our high school soccer team did a summer of training over there, so preseason training.
Okay.
So that was my first real environment of sports performance training. That's kind of when I knew when I went to college I was going to do exercise science, and that's kind of just ever since then, exercise science.
Got it. And so, just to recap, what would you say inspired you to do the exercise science? Was it that that one taste of the sports performance? I'm assuming you became a personal trainer before you went to school for exercise science, or no?
No, afterwards. I guess when you're younger, you always thought that you want to do something that you love as a job. So I loved sports. I loved working out. I was like, why don't I do it for a living? These guys are doing it. So I guess that's where I had my first idea where I'm going to be a sports performance coach. I'm going to be a strength and conditioning coach. Then once I got done school, I got my first certification was the Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist. So before I ever got my personal training cert, first thing was my CSCS. First job was at a gym in Burlington where I was part-time sports performance coach. It was a warehouse that had multiple services in there, and one of them was sports performance training for athletes. Mm-hmm. So I did that for about, I want to say 5 or 6 months until they brought me on full-time to help them out with some other stuff. So inside that building was a physical therapy office where I worked 2 days a week as a rehab aide. It was a 24-hour fitness center, so I was kind of like the on-call personal trainer for that. And then on the far side of the gym, they had their own CrossFit affiliate. So they sent me out to get certified for CrossFit.
Cool.
Ran some CrossFit classes. So I was kind of just doing a whole bunch of stuff and gained a whole wealth of knowledge doing all that.
Oh, yeah. I can only imagine. I think our last guest was a physical therapy aide.
Yep.
Brenner.
Okay.
Yeah, he did it for a little bit.
I
don't believe he liked it, though.
I think he did.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it.
Huh? Do I need to rewatch it?
Yeah, I remember.
All I remember is he did have a sort of a positive experience with it. No, he had a positive experience with physical therapy when he was injured as like a kid, when he broke his back or something. That's what it was. And then
because I remember he loves his current place where he works. He didn't like his previous one. I just don't exactly remember.
But that was a gym. I think the physical therapy aid was before.
That's what I don't exactly remember.
Something like that.
Yeah, I get it though. Yeah, because my little stint as a physical therapy rehab aide was nice because working as the sports performance coach at that facility, we had this like return to play protocol with the therapist. So if an athlete came in and was injured, I could work with them as an aide in the clinic, and then when they graduate, I can work with them on the turf as an athlete.
Fantastic! It's like it's everything beautiful. In one place. Like
It's like the Circle of Life personal training edition. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I every time I go to my mechanic, to get my truck service or oil change or whatever, I try to treat them. So I'm always bringing them in like a box of Dunkin' Donuts, and they're always like, "Oh, I see you. You're trying to fatten us up, so then we need you. It's I'm trying to monopolize the market.
Yeah, smart.
I think Guard might need to enlist your sports performance skills. He's training, not currently, but I think he's going to begin as soon as he can for, is it called the Tactical Games?
Yeah, Tactical Games.
Tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, what's that?
Okay, that's pretty much a mix of CrossFit and Spartan race.
Okay.
guns.
Wow. Okay, so I don't know what
It's like GI Joe
So-
training camp.
Pretty much, like let's say like that. You do like Atlas stones, like when you
little
lift
bit of
Atlas stone.
strongman stuff too. Then
But with the sandbags, in this I understand largest weight there is 175. So you have to lift it up on a certain amount of like a height, and then drop it over, then jump over that, do it again, jump over that, do it again, and then you shoot after that. So you pretty much your heart rate is crazy high, and if you are not like really
And grip strength is fatigued. You're probably
trained,
shaking. Like,
and yeah, but you can do a trigger that is super light, and everything is just on your heart rate and making sure you can be stable.
yeah.
So you have to be like really, really, like your endurance has to be top notch on that one.
Because there's so many different metabolic systems getting charged there.
Yeah,
Right.
sometimes one of the things is like pretty much carrying a sandbag. Then you have to hold it with one arm while shooting with a handgun with the other one. So
There's shooting involved too.
of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
course.
Oh hell yeah.
well, he's
That's why I said
ex-military.
Okay.
He's a
Awesome.
2 times vet, and so we both have an affinity for the firearms and range and all that. But he obviously he's got a little more experience, a little more knowledge, a little more hardware, and tactical games that's what he's talking about. It's like it's legit, like it's
Sweet.
hardcore. It's like a shooting competition mixed, like he said. Have you done a Spartan race?
Yeah.
So you're familiar kind of with that concept.
Yep.
So yeah, everything he's talking about, just picture that. It's like long circuits of something. Do they have runs as well in between?
Yeah, but with the body armor and the rifle at your back and your handgun is still on you.
Right.
Everything is on you.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought it was like separate.
Nah,
sounds
everything
That
is.
sounds pretty badass.
I would love
doesn't
to do
it?
that.
Yeah. it
So
sounds
that's
incredible.
that's how I tore my bicep. I was actually not that, but I was lifting Atlas stone, and that was around 300 pounds. Okay, and that was like let me make my life hard while I'm training to that thing to be easy. It's
Exactly.
175. So yeah, so here you go. Long head of the bicep like left the chat. So,
It did. We show everybody that comes on as a guest the video at some point.
Yeah.
It's pretty. You could see it just like snap and disappear up into his
yeah,
shirt.
so I pretty much like I just had a surgery 2 months ago. So little by little.
It was a
recover.
gnarly journey.
Well,
Yep.
Which is why I was hesitant to throw you that box because I said it no. I know you can shake hands lightly now, but
I mean, I already been like curling like a 12 pounds, nice and slow and
anything
stuff, and doing
that limits your rotation.
not anymore. Like I recovered most of my pretty much fully, I would say, mobility.
Okay.
it's awesome.
So I
Yeah,
did my
I know
own.
someone who tore his bicep and was too stubborn to ever get it checked. They just let it go.
Here's the thing: you have to do some work with
Never
it.
did.
My
That's the
ex-girlfriend's
problem.
dad.
It was my dad.
Oh, really? Really?
There you go. Pops,
You were holding
man.
out, but
my dad is like that too. So there you go.
It was him. He's like, no, I can't afford this. I gotta go back
It's
to
like
work.
all forearm all the way up.
Oh no,
and then there's like
bicep went from here to here. the
yeah,
whole
just
thing.
this little tiny.
That's it.
Looks crazy.
And now he's gonna stick with that. That's what
Didn't
he's
Larry
rolling with.
Wheels not get his fix either?
Yeah, that's
We
why
had
he
a
has
cool
like
combo.
a freaking like mountain little like build up like
Yeah.
cartoonish stuff.
It's like a bicep on a bicep on a bicep.
And he's so proud.
Biception.
But, yeah, he's so proud. But here's the thing, though. Like when he's competing in physique, it's like one arm is way different than another one.
You would think
So
that
he
that,
doesn't
that would affect him sort of drastically.
Yeah,
Sure
But
it
he
does.
left it as it is. So it is. I mean, it doesn't really do much for you. It's like a long head of the bicep, is like max 10% of the strength, really.
Okay.
So, but if you are really going all out, like fixing it will be way to go, because let's say like that rope climbing, it's going to be a lot there too.
Yeah.
On the tactical games, they do a lot of rope climbing.
Oh yeah.
So-
Sounds like a little bit of CrossFit. Yeah.
That's why I said CrossFit, that together.
Cool.
My last Spartan I did I guess I trained a little bit for this Spartan, and it wasn't I think it was just the 5K,
Okay.
which is a really healthy, nice little dose. But I trained a little bit for it. Once in the past, I haven't trained enough, but like you said, a lot of metabolic systems getting taxed. For that rope climb, that was the hard. Everybody was standing around cheering, and I was just like inching up. I didn't think I was gonna make it. The only reason I did is because there were people down there, I think, just be like, you can do it, like people I didn't even know. And I was like, I can't believe I've done this before, but my biceps were like cramping up. I dinged the bell. I got it done, but
Oh,
it was
man.
not easy. And it was wet. It was raining. So
Yeah.
muddy.
That's no fun.
They're so much fun, though. They're so much fun. Have you done one?
What?
A Spartan or a Tough Mudder? Or?
Yeah, I've done both.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done a little mix of it. One Spartan I did was inside the Philly Stadium.
Yeah, I've done that one.
Because you don't get like muddy or anything like that,
Right.
but you're still carrying like 5-gallon jugs of water up and down the stands and stuff like that. That was fun. Did a Tough Mudder as well.
And at that, sorry to cut you off, the sprint, the 5K in the stadium, did they have you run through like the locker rooms and stuff and the hallways and
The hallways, yeah, not the locker rooms.
I remember going through the locker rooms.
Super cool.
It's really cool, yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun event for sure.
Yeah, it's fun.
Which one you like more?
They're actually owned by the same company now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Monopoly.
Is it Merrill? That's who used to do Tough Mudder.
I think Spartan bought Tough Mudder.
Okay, yeah, because Tough Mudder used to be sponsored by Merrill.
Really?
I believe.
Like Merrill Lynch?
No, Merrill, like the outdoor hiking boots.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. Right. I did not know that. Okay.
I believe so. I believe that
So
was their
maybe
main
they-
sponsor.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
But yeah, I think Spartan does own both now.
Yeah.
That sounds
Yep.
familiar.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that room climb actually reminded me of this one time. The facility in Burlington I was at, we were renovating, we were putting new flooring down, and we put a new pegboard up on the wall. So all day event, and we just had everyone out there eating pizza, not drinking any water, just pizza and coffee all day long.
Damn.
Last thing we did at the end of the day was put the pegboard up. I'm like, oh, let's climb up there. I climbed down, my whole arms just instantly cramped. I couldn't move. They were just stuck.
Oh my god.
That reminds me of that
It's-
rope climb you did.
You're probably freaking out like, what did I do? Like, what's happening right now?
Yeah, just complete convulsion.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen? There's like this viral video of a girl climbing the rope at like a CrossFit gym.
Oh yeah.
If we're talking about the same one,
Yeah, I know.
And so she gets to the top and takes her hands up and like hangs on the bar for a second. But the rope wasn't like tied on. It was like on a little hook, and somehow
it was just on the hook, and
the
that
hook
rope.
just like
Oh, no.
the minute she
Came off.
she took the one arm
like-
off, had the bar, and then when she was about to take the other, somehow she lifted it off, and so she was ropeless, 20 feet up in the air, and people had to come like rescue her.
How long should she hang there for?
I mean, in
Not
the video,
too
it looked like
long,
people came right to the
yeah.
rescue. I don't know if I even saw her get down. I
So
don't know.
she's just dropped?
I believe so. Most likely, yeah, someone catches her or something.
Yeah,
like that,
I forget. Yeah.
Or just put
Could-
as many pads at the bottom as possible?
Right,
So
right,
hopefully they
right,
got
yeah.
you
My
pads.
brain is like a sweet cheese right now, so nah, forgetting
Sweet
most of the
cheese.
stuff.
What are you hungry? Tired?
I
Not to
mean,
mention
both
pissed
together.
at me. Yeah.
I did.
That was you last week too, man. You got to start like bringing an energy drink or something.
So
That was both of us last
man,
week.
I'm like a strict carnivore right now. It's like
okay,
I've
okay.
just started running because I want to do marathon in October. So
Okay.
I just cannot do.
Marathon.
Yeah, I just cannot do without freaking competing or doing something like that.
Right, I hear you.
So-
What marathon you think you're gonna do? What's in
So
October?
it's gonna be in a Philly something. It's gonna be like freaking 20 something miles.
26.2?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
26.2?
marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and the half marathon is 13 and a half or something like that, right?
Yeah, man.
13.6,
Math.
something like that.
13-1.
As much as I hate running, probably one of the reasons why I left military. It's like right now it's like something changed. And plus I will need that in the tactical games anyway, so.
Yeah. I was going to say, well, not with the bicep. I was going to say if you're going to do the Murph workout in a couple weeks. I guess not with that bicep.
Yeah, maybe. Give me a few months.
Yeah, and I mean, you could probably get away with doing the push-up portion, but I don't think you could do.
I still
Pull-up,
have
but on.
so here's the thing. My mobility pretty much fully back, but pain is there. So sharp pains in a certain joint actions and movements like
Yep.
hits you like this from
Yeah.
nowhere.
And do you just like stop doing whatever you're doing when that sharp pain hits, or do you kind of like try to work through it?
So here's the thing. When I lift, I pretty much do my lifting super slow. Okay, it's like to keep the control and make sure that nothing gonna come from nowhere,
Right.
But if I want to grab something in a car or something like that, I don't take that much. So, and then it hits you. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
And God forbid if I will fell asleep on the right side. Yeah, that's going to be ass.
Rough wake up.
Yeah.
You got to put you in like a straitjacket to go to bed.
And thank you.
Apparently they have jackets or something like that. Some kind of contraption where, how do you sleep? Your back sleeper, side, belly?
Side sleep.
Side sleep?
Same.
I used to
the
only
problem.
be able to sleep on my stomach, but now I can do whatever. But I used to only sleep on my stomach, and so I would sleep on my hands.
Mm-hmm.
My hands would be like under the pillow, and then my head and like weight would be on my arms. And I would wake up with like no blood flow, and my hand would be like this, and I'd just have to like shit, like you know when you sit on the toilet too long and your leg goes to sleep, like that. And I did research and stuff, and like if you do that over time, you're gonna get a nerve damage and things like that. And I spoke with a friend of mine whose husband had the same issue, and for like a year he had to wear some kind of sleeve or something that would like keep his arms like down so he couldn't like it was almost it sounded like a straitjacket. I don't remember what it was exactly.
Sounds like my newborn.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh my God,
Sleep
you're
sack.
probably going through it right now.
I mean, a lot of them do sleep like that. On the stomach.
Well, I mean, obviously in the very beginning, it's just swaddled up, just like wrapped like a burrito.
Right.
And then they go to the straitjacket type of thing, and then progress to a sleep sack. But yeah, it's kind of like a newborn.
That's wild. How's your sleep quality of your sleep been?
Ups and downs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it.
It's a peaceful kid.
Awesome,
No.
peaceful kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good kid. He's just recently went through like a 4-month sleep regression is what they call it. 4-month sleep regression. There's a leap that's associated with it. So, new parent, new dad, but the leaps from what I gathered is a growth spurt of like the brain. So if you want to think about it that way, so not like a physical growth spurt where the body's getting bigger. So that's mental growth spurt where they go through and it's a whole new world that they live in. They're not inside their mom's stomach anymore. So they're just like, they're finding their voice, they're hearing more, they're seeing more, they're tasting more, touching more. So it's like scary because they're just not used to it.
Okay.
So that's part of like what factors into the 4-month sleep regression. So the 4-month sleep regression then fell into like teething. So he's starting to teeth a little bit, which has got to be super uncomfortable because the teeth have to break through your gums. So
You ever find like blood and stuff? Or
not yet. Hasn't got to that point yet.
okay. And I would assume it's no good for a baby to suck on an ice cube. But my client's dog is not like 2 months ago. He's like 8 months now, but his teeth were coming in and stuff, and he was just like, so she would give him like frozen towels to just kind of like play with, and it would kind of like help numb the.
Yeah, we make popsicles for him.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like a rubber nipple, a porous rubber with a bunch of holes in it, but inside of it we'll stick a cube of breast milk.
Oh, freaking genius! What? Never even heard of that.
Yeah, you learn stuff. It's totally different, but yeah, you get a little tiny ice tray. It's like a little tiny. It's like the size of your fingertip. It just filled with breast milk, and then you freeze it, put it inside the little nipple, and it's like a popsicle.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He loves it.
They got everything.
Oh, that's never heard of it. Yeah, that's awesome.
My sister had a baby, maybe like, oh gosh, I should know this. Like 8 months ago.
Okay.
Maybe not quite that. So she's going through it, and my two best friends, Josh and Jake, shout out to you boys. They're both having kids in like the next month. So my social life and mental health is about to go seriously down the drain. Your babies affect me too.
Right.
But I'm so happy for them, man. I got a baby shower tomorrow, actually.
Oh, okay, nice.
It's like a big joint, unisex, outdoor kind of cookout deal.
Yeah, we had ours over at La Stalla.
Nice, love La Stalla. Have you been in there, Gar?
Never, but one of my friends is working there, so
Okay.
Check it out.
maybe
It's a
I'll
good spot.
go there once. Yeah.
Yeah, but he is on the carnivore diet. All he does is red meat and like
Eggs.
dairy. Yeah,
Not even dairy right
Not
now.
even dairy right
but,
now?
Yeah.
red meat and
meat,
eggs.
eggs.
Hardcore.
When I will win the comp, then I will do the dairy again.
Are you planning to win, baby?
I think I will.
Speaking of which, we need to hop on a group text with the boys and get a like our 2-week. Check-in set up.
Because it's like the first time it seems like a disciplined lack with the people when I said everyone has to be hungry and two bottles of water.
So we're doing a friendly fat loss competition amongst a couple gym owners and personal trainers.
Okay.
Just for shits and gigs.
Yeah.
And so whoever loses the highest percentage body fat wins. And Gar was like, okay, nobody eat anything before we get there. And like everybody, including myself, had like breakfast before our weigh-in.
Because here's the thing, you guys have an in body right there in
Yeah.
neck, so
We
you
all know.
want exactly. But if people doesn't know,
Okay.
you want to know.
All right,
you
call me out.
have to be. Everyone has to be the same, like standard. By same standards, same time.
Like no meals, no workouts. It totally
Exactly.
alters the chest.
Right.
The test for sure.
Exactly.
What do you want from me, man? I had a bowl of cereal. I was hungry.
Ooh. What'd you have?
I love my honey bunches of oats, and I get this ancient grain granola from Costco. It's
I got that. Had that today.
Yeah?
In my yogurt. Yep.
Oh, the ancient grains, you got
Yep,
that?
yep.
Oh, dude, I'll put it in. We have like some Oikos yogurts and stuff.
Same. That's
Dude,
from Costco.
freaking A, right, man?
Yep.
It's a great little snack, man.
Absolutely.
Costco. Me and Michaela,
I
my
wish I
wife.
knew
were-
I freaking hit the pizza that day, but anyways.
But yeah, so and we're gonna check in every 2 weeks. It's like a 2-month thing. Whoever loses, it's like fantasy football style. Whoever loses, the other 3 guys pick out something weird for them to have to wear, and then we all go out to dinner. So if it's me, I'm gonna make him wear my lederhosen from my Oktoberfest wedding.
Ooh.
That's what I'd like to do. But if they
Oh,
want,
Lord Jesus.
if they want you in tights, then we'll take it.
Sometimes in the army, in the tanks, you will think we are professionals. We are not. So here's the thing. On these, they will be in a freaking tank hanging out because it's hot in that thingy.
Yeah,
So, and sometimes when sergeant is like, hey, get out, guys. Like, what the hell are you doing there? One dude just opened it, and that's before dishonor, and he closed it down. So that's how I'm going to be if I lose, but I'm not going to lose it.
I'm working hard too, man. Working hard too. I'm excited. Anyway, so
How many check-ins have you had? Who's
no, I don't even think we're 2 weeks deep yet. We're supposed to check in every 2
just
weeks.
started.
We'll do
Yeah.
like a quick episode on here.
Fresh.
Yeah, I think just last week we started, right?
Pretty much.
So this coming week we need to set up a meeting.
awesome?
Yeah. To stay on topic, so I asked you a couple of things. This might be redundant, but you got any tips for? I know we talked about consistency, but maybe throw out something a little more. For this one, I guess I'll have you do a little more like actionable. So maybe steps they can take in a gym, equipment they can use, a system they can follow. Tips for new exercisers or younger guys, people in general as they're getting into the gym.
Yeah. A lot of times, I'll get people in for stuff that they don't like to do because that's kind of what you need to do, stuff you don't enjoy. I would recommend doing stuff you do enjoy because if you're just starting out, you're going to need some type of reward from it, some type of pleasure. So find something you enjoy doing. So along your fitness journey, you're probably going to need some type of cardiovascular exercise. Everyone hates cardio. There's many forms of cardio, though. Find one that you like. Do that one the most often. Every once in a while, do the ones that you don't enjoy, but find one that you do enjoy, whether it's walking, running, hiking, something outside. Find something inside. Find a gym with a pool. Find something with a stair stepper, a bike. Do some spin classes. Maybe in that cardiovascular world, just find something that you enjoy. Strength training wise, like I was saying before, learn the basics, just so you can do everything right, not get hurt, and then just move a lot. I know there's a big movement and people are going through their steps, right? So everyone wants to get their steps in. So maybe having like a step goal would be great for you too, just to get started.
So just kind of, I love that. I love all of that actually, especially about the, for new people that are new in the gym, do the opposite of what you may think. Do something you do like.
Yeah, because you
So
might
can
do
get
it a
some
little
kind
bit
of
more.
reward. Right. No, that's good. That's beautiful. And actionable. And then,
I bet both of you will agree with me. A lot of times we have a problem with the discipline of the clients. How do you deal with that? Your strategy.
Trying to stay consistent throughout the whole week, right?
Like you want them to be, they will never be sharp. We will never be sharp sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But it's like keeping them as accountable as possible to do some positive steps, like improvements.
like if you keep trying to have them follow a diet or follow homework and they just can't seem to do it, I guess. Right, Gar?
Pretty much. Training, even sometimes I give them homework to do. If I have a back pain, the Stuart McGill's Big 3, I give them, that's the homework. I will give it to them right away. Every day, you're going to do it 15 minutes. It takes not more than that. It's super easy. You just need a yoga mat.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with that. So I can revert this back to the Exos Performance Certification that I got.
Mm-hmm.
The eighth component, their eighth training component, they have 8 training components. The last one is regeneration. So you hear the word regeneration, you think after you've done your workout, you stretch a little bit, your foam roll, whatever you think your regeneration is. These days it's saunas and cold plunges and stuff like that. But what regeneration is the other 23 hours of the day that you're not working out. What are you doing those 23 hours? How many hours are you putting towards sleep? stuff like that. So if you have those conversations continually with your clients, what they're doing, because all you can do during that hour is give them the most effective, safe training program or workout for that day, whether it's an hour or 30 minutes or whatever service you offer. But that will literally do nothing for them if they're not taking care of the other 23 hours. So stress that over and over. Give them tools to do at home. I have a tool that I give a lot of my clients where they can do some mobility on their own instead of like me watching them stretch. So like stretching on your own. I recently did go through a manual stretch therapy certification to offer in-service services.
I think your whole team did, right?
Yeah, so we had about 6 of us that went through to provide services at the NAC for manual stretch therapy. But doing some like yoga, quote unquote, at home, not yoga, but it's just active, passive stretching. So giving them a tool like that to do at home. Recommending step goals, talking about their diet and changing one thing. Whether it could be increasing their water intake, it could be adding a protein source at a certain part of the day. Little things that can accumulate over time.
Excellent. I would agree wholeheartedly with all of that. Yeah, I try to give my clients, what prompted me to do it is, I like to think that you need to meet clients where they are, not where you want them to be, right? And so if they steadily or inconsistently, don't do whatever homework it is or stretching or calorie counting that you're recommending and trying to push, then I was like, okay, so what the heck can I do? Because this isn't working. Whatever I'm doing right now is not working, and it's on you at the end of the day. And so I created some different PDFs with like topics, movements, mobility movements, and different exercises for like different cookie cutter things, right? So like core, if you need to strengthen your core, if you have lower back pain, if you got tight hips, if you have poor thoracic mobility. And I just have these templates that I can then supply my people with, and it just definitely does. Sometimes people need a little. I don't want to say hand holding, but just a little extra hands-on approach rather than like hypotheticals. And yes, you should be doing this, but if you give them exactly what they can do, I think that's like a way to improve people's success.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably why they reached out to us in the first place, because they just want someone to tell them what to do.
Exactly.
100%.
I would say that's 80% of personal training. I think.
I mean, not gonna lie, like probably a lot, not half, but some of them are just, they know what to do.
Right. Exactly.
But they don't want to do it. So that's why I'm there to yell at them.
I'm guilty.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I'm the best trainer in the world. I'm not gonna say an expert, but I know what I'm doing in the gym, in the weight room, and stuff like that. I know how to work out, stay healthy. I still pay for online programming, so I can just show up.
No, I got a coach too.
Yeah. So I follow someone's program. It's incongruent of all of the stuff that I like to do, the stuff that I agree with. So it's a platform that I really enjoy, but I still follow someone else's program. I'll have to tinker it to my needs and stuff like that, to my issues and all that, but still have a baseline for something else to follow, because I don't want to create my own workouts.
Right.
Same thing. You're not lazy for them, but you're lazy for yourself. I'm the same way.
We talked about this. I forget if it was the fat loss episode or with the one prior with Brenner, where we were talking about how, when I first became a personal trainer, and we all related across the entire, it resounded within the entire room. When we first started as personal trainers, and you pick up traction, you're getting clients, and you're in there for long days. The last thing in the world you want to do after the end of a long day is stay there longer in a gym full of people that are going to want to talk to you and know you, to get a workout in. And so I think we all kind of related that at a time we just completely were just like, knew exactly what to do, but just it needed to be as far away from it as we could be.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why it's like when one of you guys, it's like catch me when I was leaving, because they thought I was training a client there, undercover or something like that. It's like I was like, dude, this is the only place people doesn't know me, and I want it to stay this way. Yeah. I was like, trust me. Right. There's a reason why I look mean as hell, because I don't want people to talk to me. Like, I just want to do my stuff, quietly leave.
Yeah, I try to do the same thing. I put my headphones on. There's no music playing. It just looks like I'm not hearing you.
Well, dude, yeah, I absolutely.
Because otherwise, I'll never be able to get.
Everybody knows you, dude. In that place, I bet. Like,
if you work there, everyone knows you. There's always something to talk to, want someone to talk about. There's always a lot going on in that building. If I'm working out there, I'm usually throwing headphones on, pretending like I'm really focused in. I'm kind of like also just listening.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're working with you because it didn't work for me. When I was in a sling, like everyone has to ask, what happened to you? And it's like since there, hey, Gar.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You're gonna have to,
I love you guys, but I don't
you're gonna have to cut ties and move along, man. New gym.
Cover blown.
Yeah, I just stuck with the contract, 1 year, man. You know what? Heck, I know how to get out of the contract.
How's that?
You want me to train you there?
Well, so here's what I'm curious about is say that was your exit strategy, right? And you purposely want to get caught. Now, I would imagine there's no way that they have a clause in the the sign-on contract as a member where they're gonna be like, hey, and if you're a personal trainer, when we catch you training, then you have to pay us for the rest of the year, and your membership will be revoked. But would they try to give you a hard time? Curious. You know what I mean? If they're like, no, you're done. You've been caught too many times, personal training, and I
think
would
one
imagine
time is enough.
you wouldn't be required to pay, right? I don't know. I wouldn't want to find out.
I wouldn't want to find out.
I wouldn't want to find out.
It's a different avenue that I'm not familiar
Right,
with.
right.
I mean, we just could ask.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Nah, you don't need to leave yet. It sounds like you're still.
No, now it's just curiosity. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Just
right,
like,
right.
Hey, what do you think about this?
Well, I mean, I feel like they're just gonna put like a freaking target on your back the minute you have.
I mean, they already have. I had a shirt with the coach on my side walking around there.
Yeah, not well. I can understand why they tracked you down and they were like, "Hey, dude, what are you doing?" If your shirt says "coach," I mean,
That's why I was with my girl, and it's like I was scared to be around her because I thought like they will kick me out because I'm
right. Bill,
Yes, sir.
what is something that you would? Now, this doesn't have to be fitness related.
Mm-hmm.
Could be if that's what comes to mind first. But what is something that you would tell your younger self? If you could go back in time and try to knock some sense into your head on a specific issue, topic, and take your time.
Don't rush to be a grown up.
Are you a grown up?
I'm trying.
I'm not.
Doing this whole adulting thing, right? I mean, where I'm at now, I love exactly where I am. It's awesome. But like as soon as I was growing up, I hated school. I hated being in school. As soon as I was done school, I missed school. It was just like one of those things, and just like priorities stack up, responsibilities stack up, and they're fine. You take care of them and all, but like you look back on it and like you had the world at your hands when you were a kid, and you just like you got everything you needed when you needed it. There really was like no worries in the world. Just like summers were spent on your bike, going to the pool, jumping in the river, just playing basketball, getting muddy and dirty every single day, coming home when the lights came on, just stuff like that. So just don't rush the childhood and try to be an older kid, and don't try to grow up.
Well, if you do get a chance to go back and tell yourself, stop by my house too, because I always wanted to work like from a young age, and I would even like skip summer camps that the school was having and stuff like that because I wanted that money.
Yeah, I started working summer before 7th grade.
Yeah, when you said that, I was doing the same shit. like for guys at my church, like my brother. I had one of 5. My older brother had a good work ethic, and he would do work for all these guys from the church, and word got around, and he had all these jobs lined up. And then when he was like moving on, then boom, I inherited all these jobs, and I was making money. And I just wanted to work. And then I started my own landscaping business at the ages of we're talking like 14 to 16,
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, same thing. There's a lot of opportunities that I do regret missing out on that I took for granted.
Yeah, I had a situation with that with one of the kids I was training. After high school, he wasn't going to be playing sports anymore. He was a lacrosse player. And he was getting ready to go to school, and he wanted to go to Boston University, not Boston College, and they have a campus overseas. And he wasn't able to get into the school itself in the States for the first semester. They wanted him to go overseas for a semester, and it was like scary. I mean, but thinking back on a high school kid, your first semester, you got to go over to Europe for your first semester.
Crazy, yeah.
It's kind of scary. But
especially if you haven't traveled much as a kid, too.
Yeah, but then I'm looking at it, I'm like, do everything you can to open your eyes and idea to it and think hard about it. And I think you would really enjoy it. Maybe not in the moment, but in a year or two, you're like, I'm really glad I made that decision.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So stuff like that, just like taking advantage of opportunities.
Making the harder choice.
Mm-hmm.
Getting outside of that comfort zone. Yeah, man. Well said. It's really easy to look in, hindsight and be like, yeah, I should have done that. But if you're able to spot these decisions and when you feel that fear in your belly when you're torn between two decisions, always go with the one that scares you more is kind of what I like to say. Take that leap of faith, get outside of your comfort zone. Because if not, who knows? You could end up regretting that the rest of your life. And who knows what it could change,
Yep.
Good, beautiful. You got any resources, life-changing books, podcasts, audiobooks, influences in your life that you would like to share?
I guess some stuff that I've read or listened to over the years. Not much of a reader, not much of a listener, but I'll go in sometimes. Actually, lately, there's all the directors and managers at the NAC. We just started the book club.
Cool. Love that.
We are on our second book.
Freaking A right.
So the first book we did was called The Five Dysfunctions of a Team.
Okay.
So if you haven't read it, I would. It's a short, easy read too. So definitely a good way to get back into books if you haven't been doing books lately.
Yeah.
So that was really nice because it's based on a true story of a person that came in and overtook a company as a CEO. But this totally random person has to lead a whole new team, but trying to get all that respect while trying to learn all the team members and the personality traits that they carry with them. So you get to learn all those personality traits.
And is it sort of in story form? It's kind of what it sounded like at.
Yeah. So it is in story form.
Cool.
So it gives real life scenarios that she had to go through, people that she did have to fire, of why the company wasn't doing great. I guess another book I went through is called Conscious Coaching. So it has to do more with the world of strength and conditioning, sports performance, but working with athletes, but you can apply it to general pop too, right? But the book was geared towards athletes and dealing with their personalities and how you can get the most out of them depending on who they are and how they act. And just that balancing act when you have 5 different personalities in a group of 10 people.
Right.
So Conscious Coaching by Brett Bartholomew was a great book. Podcast I listened to for a while was called Relay F by
Andy Frisella.
Andy Frisella, yeah. So I do work as a Legionnaire with First Phorm as well.
Oh, nice.
So kind of like a supplement.
I love their supplements.
Yeah. That's a possibility too. Over at MPI, I got a wholesale account with them. So we might have our pro shop affiliated and funded by, well, not funded by, but totally branded through First Phorm, which is an option that we might go with.
That's so freaking cool.
We'll see where it goes though.
I've noticed that they don't ever sell anything in any supplement shops.
It's hard. There's only one locally. It's Coalition Nutrition.
Yeah, because I bought their collagen, so that's why I was.
Okay, I haven't been in there. I know it's very big. Actually, I just saw a guy wearing one of those shirts. I was at somewhere random, and
I've always been a big fan of First Phorm, and it's known as a supplement company. That's what it started out as. But anyone who's starting their fitness journey and wants to reach out to them, reach out to me or any of us. That'd be great too. But First Phorm is a great starting point. They're huge in the community of fitness, not just supplements and nutrition and stuff like that. Really good branding community there. But yeah, that's kind of why I started working with them. I guess it kind of actually started happening with COVID.
Okay.
COVID happened. Everyone's trying to do what they can to boost their immune system, right? Everyone's buying their greens powders and this and that. And so I was like, I started taking their greens powders back when COVID happened. I like this stuff is really good and I feel really great. Did more research and I found out that they're one of the few, if not the only one, that actually brings the FDA in to test their warehouse on a monthly basis.
Really?
So supplements do not have to be guided by the FDA at all.
I didn't think that any ever were. Even creatine, which I preach very highly on. I've done research on it. There's so many benefits and a lot of scientifically backed research. But as far as I know, it's not like the FDA approved.
So it's not FDA approved. They don't actually have that stamp on it. But they still go and bring the FDA in to check out their facility regularly, just to have that reassurance. It's just one of the things that Andy Frisella does. And
beautiful.
Takes care of it that way.
Love it.
But they did recently start carrying NSF tags, so Certified for Sport.
Okay.
So I know their creatine is now Certified for Sport. So college athletes, professional athletes can take their supplements and they're legal.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I've been hearing all these crazy things about people getting tested in certain. I don't think protein fell into the category, but creatine may have, and certain pre-workouts and stuff like that. Like pre-workouts that are, they might have some high stimulants, but it's those tests
Still
are very
legal.
sensitive, right?
Yeah, you anything can trip it. So
Celsius, I heard,
can trip it. Yeah.
it was actually like outlawed in college sports or something like that. Is that right?
I mean, they found certain things. It's like a mess with your genes and stuff. Like, I don't know. A few people were saying that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's banned in other countries.
Celsius?
And like Prime, stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah. Not in the U.S. though.
Yeah, I haven't.
I saw something weird about Panera Bread has like this lemonade that it's like jacked up with caffeine.
Heard about that.
And apparently somebody had like a heart attack from it.
What?
Yeah.
I
So
heard
they're
about
like in a
that
lot of
too.
trouble for that right now.
Yep.
Freaking wild.
But yeah, what influencers, right? That's what we're talking about. So,
Yeah, if you got anything else, throw it at me, and then I'm gonna have you plug your socials, business, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, so
Make a
I
shout
guess
out.
a couple of those books I liked a lot. The Real as Fuck podcast, Andy Frisell was really good. But yeah, I would guess as far as the books and the podcast world, that's about it. I don't get too much into the books and podcasts.
Okay.
I'm trying to, though.
Somebody just recommended a really good one. Oh, and I don't have my phone because it's recording. And I'm not going to remember it off the top of my head, so never mind. But it was phenomenal, and I'll send it over to you because I listened to like one episode, and I was really, really impressed.
Okay.
Yeah, great listen.
Cool.
Yeah. Bill, why don't you plug your social media accounts and give shout outs to anybody that you would like to? But leave your favorite quote, whatever you want to do.
I guess first shout out, I was going to shout out my wife, Regina. Love you.
Thanks for letting him be here.
Yeah, she's home with our 5-month-old right now. Clocked out of work a little bit early. But yeah, so shout out there. Socials, my personal is at bcastor, BCASTOR. You can find me there. From my page, you can also get over to the Newtown Performance Institute page, NPI. Find a whole bunch of stuff over there as well.
Yeah, we will tag you too. So
Yeah,
we will.
absolutely.
Yep, absolutely.
And then I guess I don't really have a quote.
I just kind of threw it in there for fun.
Slow and steady wins the race. Stay consistent.
Yeah.
Move well. Move often.
Love it.
yeah, it's not a sprint; it's a marathon.
Bill, it's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Yes. Thank you.
Hey, buddy.
Thanks, God.
We appreciate each and every single one of you, not just Bill, for watching and following along for this experience.
That is why don't be shy. Comment, DM us, email. What's the email?
Email is mitchellblack@gmail.com.
Yeah, with the questions, and we will gladly give you the highest quality answer possible. If you don't know, that's actually even better because now I have a reason to learn something new. And then we will give you highest quality answer possible.
Dude, that's been getting like smoother and smoother, and I feel like it's finally turning into like a spiel, like a rehearsed
Pretty much.
spiel. That was awesome. That
You
was the best.
start, I end,
That was the
something
best
like
you
that.
ever did it. Yeah, you can also submit a topic request form by hopping onto our link tree to tell us what you want to hear about. Shoot us a DM or comment on any of our socials. To stay up to date on all that we're up to or will be up to, you can follow us on Instagram at @thefence_podcast. Subscribe on YouTube at The Fence Podcast, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Simply look up at The Fence. It was a pleasure, guys. We'll see you next week.